Amherstburg workers sent home early by Diageo. Unifor slams the move as a final show of disrespect.
We arrested him in the backyard of the residence.
Back in cuffs an hour after being released, a Windsor man is arrested outside a victim's home.
We're approximately 10 miles to the east of your airspace.
And the U.S. Coast Guard saves 2 stranded Canadians on Lake St. Clair.
Don't go on the ice this time of year. It's no longer safe.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. Amherstburg workers have been blindsided today and sent home 2 days earlier than expected by Diageo. Unifor calls this a final show of disrespect. With more on this breaking news, CTV's Michelle Molesky tonight. Michelle.
Stefanie, workers thought they would remain on the job until Saturday, but they were sent home early this afternoon. As we've reported, the company announced in August they would be shuttering the Amherstburg bottling factory this month. It caused 200 people to lose their jobs, with the company shifting production to their facilities in Manitoba and Quebec. The move got the attention of Ontario Premier Doug Ford, who in a now famous media conference poured out a bottle of Crown Royal to show his displeasure. And he threatened to pull it off LCBO shelves. Then on February 13th, the province inked a deal to keep Crown Royal on shelves and to invest $1 million in economic initiatives right in Amherstburg. Critics say, however, that deal does nothing to support the workers who were facing layoff. Unifor Local 200 President John Dagnolo just told me today the workers will be paid for the rest of this week, but being sent home early has been a blindside to them. National President Lana Payne goes one step further, calling this, quote, a final show of disrespect. Now, that $23 million deal Diageo inked with the province also calls for an $11 million commitment to buy grain-neutral spirits from a company in Eastern Ontario, along with a $3 million investment in new ready-to-drink Crown Royal products made in Toronto. The union says that does little to help or reassure people here in Essex County who won't be going to work tomorrow. Now, Stefanie, we spoke with John Dagnolo just moments ago. We'll include his comments on our website, and I'll have them for you tonight in our newscast at 11.
Okay, looking forward to it. Michelle Molesky with our breaking news tonight. Thank you. And more labor news. Nearly 6 part-time recreation jobs with the city of Windsor are unexpectedly coming to an end this spring. CTV's Sanjay Meyer joins us with more details on this for us tonight. Sanjay.
Yes, Stefanie, this all centers around what's called a memorandum of agreement, or an MOA, that allowed the city to hire temporary staff, up to 60 part-time workers, to support day-to-day operations inside arenas and community centers. The city says it effectively ends the agreement that had created up to 60 part-time jobs, but union leadership alleges the city had not been following the terms of this agreement for months. Late last week, the union says it formally revoked that agreement. The city says 57 temporary part-time recreational facilities attendants hired over the past 7 months will now see their jobs come to an end on April 21st. The change will not affect any regular full-time employees, however. In a release today, the city says it complied with all of its terms and held several meetings with the union to address outstanding concerns. But Union President Rob Collodi, meanwhile, alleges concerns around staffing practices had been raised with the city for months. But in a conversation I had with him earlier this afternoon, he wouldn't get too far into specifics. He does say, however, those matters include how vacancies were being filled and how part-time staff were being scheduled. Collodi warns this dispute is heading to arbitration, a process he says will ultimately cost taxpayers tens of thousands of dollars.
It's shocking to me that they even acknowledged that there was multiple meetings. If everything was going great, we would never have had to meet with them. You typically only ever meet when things are not going well. Things are not being followed. We've had grievance after grievance, and like I said, at this point, they'll be moved to arbitration.
The city notes this MOA had replaced a previous agreement that was revoked by the union last June, a move that resulted in 37 position reductions last summer. For their part, the city says it's unclear to them what led to the union's decision to pull back from this agreement.
Okay, Sanjay, thank you for this.
Thank you.
In other news, police say an intimate partner violence offender was rearrested just 1 hour after walking out of jail. Officials were already waiting after learning he might head straight back to the victim's home. And as CTV's Travis Fortnum reports, that's exactly what he did.
Just an hour after being let out of jail, police say a Windsor man convicted of intimate partner violence was back in cuffs. Thanks to a tip, they say that he was headed straight back to the victim's house in violation of a court order.
We made sure step one was to ensure the safety of the victim by removing her from her residence and that she was in a safe place.
Officers watched and waited. Their concerns confirmed when the 27-year-old showed up.
We arrested him in the backyard of the residence, so before he was even able to knock on the door.
So why was he released in the first place?
People aren't left in jail forever, so they're going to be released. That's why they are released with probation orders with strict conditions.
This all happened on Monday, and the man's now back in custody, charged with breaching his probation order, a charge investigators say has to be dealt far too often.
We did last year about 450 breaches of probation. That's just in the IPV, intimate violence world.
The power and control that's exercised through somebody who's abusive is stronger than the order not to visit or be on site or within 100 meters, and so they will not follow that restriction.
IPV, an even bigger issue. Despite Windsor police seeing a 4% drop in related calls last year, the problem remains labeled an epidemic. And advocates say the most dangerous time can be that first hour after an offender is released.
We work on safety plans with women to make sure that they have steps that they can take to maintain their own safety and security. So not being there when he's released or, calling the police when she has reason to believe he'll be on site.
The support is there. It just takes some courage to make that first phone call.
Investigators say their priority is always protecting victims first, and they want people to know help is available through local groups like Hiatus House, Police Victim Services, and the Sexual Assault and Domestic Violence Treatment Center. Travis Fortnum, CTV News.
Do you know someone who has been impacted by intimate partner violence? That is our question of the day. Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you give money to panhandlers. Out of almost 700 responses, 87% say no. Windsor police have recovered nearly $16,000 in stolen property from a commercial break-and-enter Monday night. Police say a suspect smashed a window to a business on Huron Church Road, then stole power tools and a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Police say the man was spotted within 15 minutes walking near Daytona Avenue and Kenora Street while pushing the motorcycle and carrying the tools. 37-year-old man was arrested and faces multiple charges. All stolen items have now been returned. Closing arguments in the trial of a 2023 shooting outside a downtown nightclub has been deferred until Thursday. An American man was injured during an early morning altercation and taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A suspect was arrested at the scene. The Crown told jurors Tuesday it comes down to two simple questions: who pulled the trigger and who helped make it happen? Defense submissions are set for Thursday at 1:30 in the afternoon. No verdict date has been announced. The U.S. Coast Guard is getting credit for saving two Canadians stranded on Lake St. Clair, and we have the body cam video to prove it. Take a look.
We're prepared 24/7, 365.
U.S. Aircraft Commander Lieutenant Christina Silva and her co-pilot Lieutenant Connor Riley were two of four first responders inside this helicopter. They successfully rescued two Canadians trapped on the ice in Lake St. Clair off Ross Beach Road in Lakeshore.
Significant day for myself personally.
For Riley, it was his first rescue of his career.
It was cool though, being able to get out there and have a good outcome.
Lakeshore OPP received a call around 2:30 Tuesday for two men and a four-wheeler stranded far from shore. After the ice cracked and they drifted away. The two men were airlifted by the U.S. Coast Guard and brought to Windsor's airport for observation by EMS. Neither men were injured.
We're asking another country to come into Canada to save a Canadian. it kind of feeds the narrative that's happening across the border, is we're not staffed, we're not resourced to do the level of ice rescue, especially for people taking their vehicle out there.
6578 squawking 1277. We're approximately 10 miles to the east of your airspace.
Harbor Master Peter Barry says it costs around $1,000 per hour for a helicopter. The cost falls on U.S. residents.
Going out there, finding them, recovering them, taking them to the airport, there's a huge cost. And that cost went to the taxpayers of the United States, not to Canada. So we're causing a cost to another country, and we shouldn't be doing that.
But if the ATV ends up submerged, that will cost the driver.
It's a $500 fine, and you could be subject up to $30,000, of which is applied to your federal tax account. And we can also put orders to you to actually go ahead and recover through a licensed company. And you're going to pay a large fee for a barge and divers and others to get your vehicles off there.
Barry's message to the public.
Don't go on the ice this time of year. It's no longer safe. It's moving. It's breaking up. And remember that someone else is going to put their lives at risk to try to save you because you made a bad decision. And that's not fair.
Stay safe, and we'll be out there if you do find yourself in a bind, but help us help you.
With more on these fluctuating temperatures, which may, Gary, affect the, the ice melting very, very quickly. Gary Archibald joins us.
Now, you're right about that. It's just not thick enough. We haven't had a long duration of temperatures, -10 or colder throughout the season over sustained days to build up that base. And of course, the Detroit River is a flowing river. It is a very charged river. So we want to stay away. By the way, today, obviously, didn't see much ice anywhere because we were above the freezing mark. We still are. Partly cloudy conditions. It's been a windy day. Increasing sunshine through the afternoon. It's been pleasant through the early stage of the evening. But tomorrow, we'll see some more cloud moving in. Could it bring some precipitation? I'll break down what you need to know weather-wise coming up shortly.
Due to a shortage of skilled trades workers, Harrow-founded Atlas Tube Industries is offering a $10,000 signing bonus for new employees. They're looking specifically for 433 A millwrights to join the local team. The wage is $40 per hour, plus an additional $19 per hour on average in weekly incentive payouts. New hires are also eligible for a $10,000 signing bonus. According to a company news release, Zuckelman's Harrow facility hasn't had a layoff in 15 years. Applications are open now and hiring is underway. Go to our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca, for a link. Construction crews will be working earlier and later on the Banwell Road overpass in an attempt to get work done and faster. Windsor City Council approving a noise bylaw exemption for the project. Construction will be allowed for 1 week in March between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. Monday through Saturday for the erection precast concrete girders for the new Banwell Road overpass structure. That week may be either the week of March 16th or the 23rd. Alternatively, there is a contingency plan for a week in April. Ward 7 Councillor Angelo Marignani says council also approved allowing the city's CAO to grant further noise bylaw exemptions as required for the duration of the Banwell project. The $110 million overpass project is expected to continue into the year 2027. Amherstburg Town Council approved spending over $1 million to upgrade Centennial Park. The park on Victoria Street South will see 2 tennis courts, 2 basketball courts, and an 800-meter walking trail with benches and trees. There will also be 10 accessible parking spaces and 4 chess or checker tables. Councillor Lyndon Crane says this is what the community wants. Previously, Council set aside $530,000 for the upgrades. The remaining money was allocated during budget deliberations. Centennial Park was the former home of the town's arena complex. The town of Lakeshore has made their position clear on how social housing is administered in the county of Essex.
It's a $3 million spend per year to upstaff it so that we can duplicate and replicate what's already happening with our service manager. A better approach would be...
Lakeshore Council unanimously supported the motion from Mayor Bailey to stick with the current agreement for social housing. It is handled by the City of Windsor for the city and the county. In recent months, Essex Mayor Sherry Bondi has been critical of that model, saying it needs to change so that the county has more say about decisions that are made. While supportive of revisiting the agreement to find ways to help more people, including the homeless, Lakeshore Council does not want to get into the business of social housing.
This is a provincial issue where it is set up for Windsor to deliver. And the thing that needs to be done, in my opinion, is better communication and implementation of the services.
We have a similar agreement with the city on EMS, emergency services, and it works fine. If there's any glitches or issues, the parties get together and they work them out.
We're now taking money away, creating redundancies where those dollars could be going to the people that actually need it. And I don't need the redundancies. I need money to solve the problem.
American country singer Charlie Crockett has canceled his Canadian tour, including a stop in Windsor after being turned away at the border.
So many nights I can't remember.
CBSA officials denied the American country singer entry twice in 24 hours in Vancouver and Kelowna, stemming from a 2016 drug conviction. He was scheduled to perform at Caesars on March 1st. He posted online writing, "Everyone's got a past, and mine is still haunting me." He added that Canada is a beautiful country with the best fans in the world, and he hopes to return soon. Ticket holders will be refunded. A top White House official just dropped a major hint about future U.S. trade deals still ahead, what was revealed, and the impact for Canada. And how Canada is helping a Caribbean country in crisis. Donald Trump has signaled he won't retreat in his trade war. And today on Fox News, his trade representative singled out Canada, saying any deal will include tariffs. CTV's Michael Couture has Ottawa's response to what was said.
The State of the Union address?
Prime Minister Mark Carney says he didn't watch the State of the Union address, but there are impacts for Canada. President Trump made it clear tariffs are a key plank in his economic plan for the U.S.
The view of the American administration is that there'll be a price to access the American market. I think, every country of the world that I know of is paying a price. What I'm saying is that Canada is paying the lowest price.
But that price could be paid in jobs. The U.S. Trade Representative today making it clear this is about moving manufacturing back to America.
We really want to focus on reshoring here. We want to have production here. We don't necessarily want to be dependent on China, Canada, or anybody else for things like cars and that kind of thing.
The U.S. has 50% levies on steel and aluminum going into their country and 25% tariffs on autos. It's why the Canadian government is trying to diversify trade away from our American neighbors.
GM and Stellantis have been cutting jobs here in Canada. Well, we will look towards Koreans, we will look towards Germans, and we'll look towards Chinese investments.
While looking for other trading partners, Canada continues to work on saving the trade deal with the U.S. and Mexico.
The Canadians, I was in contact with my counterpart just this morning. He's going to come to town in a couple weeks. They have a few ideas on how they might want to have a deal with us. We're obviously open to that.
By comparison, Dominic LeBlanc's office was far less committal. In a statement, a spokesperson for the minister responsible for Canada-U.S. trade would only say LeBlanc and Greer had a number of brief, informal exchanges in recent days about a potential in-person meeting in Washington, D.C. in the near future. Michael Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada has decided to allow the latest American-made Gulfstream jets to fly in the country following a threat by Donald Trump. Federal regulators have certified 2 models of Gulfstream's private planes, roughly a week after approving 2 older models. Last month, the U.S. president threatened to ground and slap tariffs if Ottawa did not certify the Gulfstream jets. Canadians are putting off travel to Cuba because of food and gas shortages after the Americans cut off Venezuelan oil to the island nation. Today, a promise of help from Ottawa. CTV's Heather Wright breaks down the funding and who it will help.
At Cubano Kings in downtown Toronto, the menu is simple but authentic.
How you doing, buddy?
Cafecitos, Cubanos, Pastelitos. Canada has been Felix King Risco's home for 2 decades, but his heart is still in Havana with his family.
They're not doing so great.
His mother, aunts, and cousins all still live in Cuba, where electricity is limited, food is expensive, and gas is scarce.
6 o'clock, there's nobody on the street. People are afraid of getting mugged. People are afraid of getting robbed, all the staff.
Since January, the United States has blocked all oil from entering Cuba, trying to squeeze the Cuban government and force a regime change. But the blockade has quickly led to rapidly deteriorating conditions across the country. Today, Canada announced $8 million in aid to Cuba to be delivered through the World Food Program and UNICEF.
And Cuba is going to need massive assistance of various sorts, and food, I think, is going to be a big one. So $8 million worth of food won't go all that far for a population of about 10 million.
It's a balancing act for Ottawa as it tries to provide aid that goes directly to Cubans and not the Cuban regime, while also not inflaming tensions with the United States, which has vowed to place tariffs on any country that sends oil to the island nation.
I have not discussed Canadian aid intentions with Secretary Rubio or the United States. This is Canadian foreign policy.
For Felix King Risco, he says his country has been through many challenging times, but this one feels different.
Something needs to change.
Global Affairs Canada says this money will be released immediately, adding they continue to monitor the situation in Cuba and will respond accordingly in the future. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
A disappointed Minister of AI, Evan Solomon, putting out a statement last night after meeting with OpenAI over the Tumbler Ridge shooting. CTV's Judy Trin looks into the legislative safeguards.
4 cabinet ministers responsible for artificial intelligence, justice, public safety, and Canadian culture met with OpenAI officials behind closed doors for 1 hour.
We're here and we're very grateful for the ministers for inviting us to be here. This is serious and we're going to be in touch. We're going to give a briefing to the ministers.
The ministers did not get an answer to their question about safety thresholds.
And we are disappointed that they did not provide any concrete proposal.
7 months before the tragedy in Tumbler Ridge, shooter Jesse Van Rootselaar's use of ChatGPT was flagged internally for abuse and enforcement. She was banned from the platform. But OpenAI did not alert police until after the rampage.
A course of failure occurred here.
We need to trust their behavior, not their reputation. The reality here is we need to see concrete measures that are going to be put forward.
The global leaders in clean technology, artificial intelligence, life sciences.
Since he took office, the Prime Minister has actively promoted AI investment to spur trade. Mark Carney is also signaling he wants results.
Obviously, anything that anyone could have done to prevent that tragedy or future tragedies must be done. We will fully explore it to the full lengths of law and will be very transparent about that process.
The government is currently working on several bills to regulate online harm. Some have been in progress for years.
I am very concerned about the government's capacity and willingness to address artificial intelligence policy writ large.
Although cabinet ministers described their meeting with OpenAI as disappointing, they noted that the tech officials said they would return at a later date, hopefully with answers. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada's main stock index was up today, helped by strength in the financial and technology sectors. In Toronto, the TSX gained 157 points. In New York, the Dow added 308, the Nasdaq up 288. The Canadian dollar gained more than 1/10 cent. On commodity markets, gold added almost $50 an ounce and oil lost 21 cents a barrel. Wear pink and take a stand. Coming up, how wearing a pink shirt today empowers youth against bullying.
Let's look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Thanks to Pamela Young for this image. If you've got a weather image, it could be our next snapshot. Text it to us at 10400. Shoot it horizontally. Yes, horizontally works better for TV. Trust me. We'll find out whether we warm up or not. Next, CTV News Windsor.
Windy out there, and there are fluctuating temperatures ahead. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joining me again for a look at the extended weather.
It looks like temperatures are going to be a big part of the story. Over the next few days, we're going to really be in a swing, a sine wave, a roller coaster ride, if you will. Reached 3.4 degrees Celsius. It was cloudy and windy to start, cold this morning, but 3.4 obviously is above seasonal. And it looks like we are still relatively calm tonight, but still windy. Calm in the sense we're not likely to see any active weather. In fact, we'll see a nice bit of a clearing between midnight and 3-4 a.m. Air quality has been in the low category of late, and that is good news. It continues today. It was as cold as about -15 this morning. In fact, the winds really reinforced that chill early through the midday as well. The winds are losing strength as we head towards Thursday afternoon, but between now and then, especially right now and through to midnight, it's still a dominant westerly wind, making 2 degrees in Windsor, +1 in Chatham-Kent, under partly cloudy skies towards dusk. Feel like about -4, -5, colder further north and east of us here in extreme southwestern Ontario. BC and Alberta, even southwestern Saskatchewan warming up. Meanwhile, Manitoba due east towards the Canadian Shield, Ontario, Quebec proper, and certainly the Great Lakes have been cool-ish. Definitely cold in northern Ontario and parts of Manitoba. And of course, the snow. We've been talking about that dusting to about 2 centimeters right through the heart of the lower Great Lakes over the last 24 to 36 hours. Continues, but it's mostly to our north and east. In fact, there's enough snow to put down 10, maybe 15 centimeters lake effect Huron Bruce, right? Eastern shores of Lake Huron further inland. Meanwhile, we'll be in the clear tonight, as mentioned. Tomorrow is likely mostly sunny, in fact. So tonight, it's partly cloudy, just chilly. -4 through 8 o'clock. Westerly sustained at around 20 K. That's going to be the wind profile through 10 and midnight. At midnight, -7. Feels like a chilly -14. Take a look at our Enercare Siles 7-day forecast. +1 tomorrow. The high early morning pre-dawn feels like -15. Mostly sunny, cloudy day, but wow, really mild on Friday. Up to 10. Some models say 13. Sunny on Saturday, 6. Then minuses. -2, -1, Sunday into Monday with flurries possible. Tuesday, Wednesday, +3, both days. Showers and then sunshine. Let's look at your weather.
Family health teams say the foundation of primary care is crumbling due to a lack of funding. Health teams, which are made up of doctors, nurses, social workers, and other health professionals, say funding has not kept up with inflation or with the wages the same professionals earn in other healthcare settings. The Association of Family Health Teams of Ontario say nurse practitioners could make an additional $20,000 or more annually by working in a hospital, or physician assistants could make an extra $30,000. The health teams are asking for $430 million over 5 years to close that gap.
The first perspective that we got to challenge is this idea that snitches get stitches, because that concept continued to keep a group of students quiet while their colleagues are being physically and verbally abused and nobody is doing anything about it.
Pink Shirt Day, the annual anti-bullying campaign, is being marked across the country. Pink Shirt Day was first organized by a group of students in Nova Scotia in 2007 as a show of support for a young boy who was bullied for wearing pink. The Pink Shirt Day organization has raised more than $3 million for youth anti-bullying initiatives since 2008.
Last night's clash at the Coliseum definitely lived up to the hype. When we return, we're on the sidelines with the game-winning bucket. Stay tuned.
We are on the sidelines with Bob Belichico tonight, starting with the Windsor Express at Caesars Windsor. So, Bob, how did the clash at the Coliseum go?
You know what? It was a lot of fun. It was great. The setup was really neat, just the way they had the big screen and everything. And the fans that did show up were treated to an exciting game that went to double overtime. Windsor riding a 6-game win streak heading in, playing against the top team in the league, Sudbury 5. Here's how it ended.
Davis down to 4. Davis to the hole. Yes! Latin Davis with a teardrop, and they're going to put time back on the clock.
I love that, the teardrop. Aaron Sanders there with the call. Latin Davis with the game winner. Express won at 121-120. Davis led all scorers with 30 points. The Express have now won 7 straight, but are still stuck in 4th place for some reason. Why? Well, that's because 3rd place Montreal is on a 6-game heater right now. Someone's streak is coming to an end. Windsor is in Montreal for 2 this weekend. Now, going back to the game, attendance was a bit of a letdown, but nothing deters affable team CEO Dardis Willis.
I'm already considering doing it again, but I just want to see how everybody else feels. Caesars, WFCU, believe it or not, they give us the opportunity to take one game out. So I'm interested in doing it again. I'm interested still in finding a way that we have a place to play like this. So it's always, you know, a highlight.
Yeah, let's do it again. Why not?
100%.
And there are some high school basketball going on tonight involving a team that accomplished a first in its school history.
This was definitely a long time coming. The game was a blowout, which surprised me, but nonetheless, Maranatha won their first basketball gold medal ever last weekend in a big win over La Jeunesse in the single A Wexa final. They are playing Chatham Christian as we speak at Assumption for the SWASA title. Oh, yeah, that was energy last night. Kennedy hosting the SWASA AA Championship at the Clipper Dome against Chatham's John McGregor. Not even close, folks. The Clippers blew out the visitors. This is a crazy score, 100-35. Eldon Hussein led the way with 22. Yazan Kazuli had 20. Kennedy is heading to Pembroke for the OFSA Championships March 9th.
We laid it all out today. You know, we gave everything our all, and I think the scoreboard reflected that. And I think now the next step for us is just, get ready for OFSA and, prepare for the next step, because I think the outcome of OFSA is going to be the same as what we've seen here today, I think it's going to be, everyone should just stay tuned and, keep watching, because Kennedy is coming.
135, not fair.
I don't even know what to say about that one.
I know. Okay, so Bob, let's talk about the Windsor Spitfires. They are on a rare 2-game losing skid.
But the thing is, they're still playing good hockey, so just the wins aren't coming for some reason. But, they haven't been very good against contending teams as well, especially teams like, Kitchener, Flint, Brantford. They're 1 win, 1 tie, and 5 losses. They're having a hard time. Is that a cause for concern?
We didn't get the results. We're playing good hockey analytically. We're doing a lot of really good things, out-chancing teams. Obviously, our defending is one of the best in the league, and we got to find a way to create some more offense.
Windsor welcomes the Peterborough Petes to town tomorrow night. The Petes are 4th in the Eastern Conference. The Spits are off to London Friday before hosting a big one against Barrie on Sunday. The Colts are 2nd in the East and giving top seed Brantford a run for number 1 in the East.
We got a big 3 games here, 3-3, so we don't have many of those, so it's pretty huge to try to grab all 3 games, and if we can do that, it'd be huge for us.
Now, there's still time to put this on your schedule for tonight or watch it on OUA TV. The Lancers men's hockey team opens the playoffs tonight at the Capri Complex in South Windsor against the Guelph Griffins. Now, Kevin Hamlin, the head coach, is giving the boys the pep talk last night. Made me want to jump on the ice, really. Just exciting. His message, don't worry about the win tonight. Play for each other. This is best of 3 series.
This is a tough league, man. There's a lot of good teams in here. We're a good team, and this is playoff hockey from here on out. It's been like that for the last 3 weeks or so, if not the regular season. So we're looking forward to it. We got a good opportunity to make a statement here.
And ooh, baby, how's that for a statement right there? Gustavo Sequeira with the ace on match point. Nothing like ending a game on match point with an ace. The men's volleyball team received a great challenge from Waterloo last weekend, but eliminated the Warriors 3-1. The Lancers host Western, who finished 13-7 this season, Friday night. Now, I told you last week that St. Clair men's basketball team was going to thrash their first-round opponent. Well, they did. The Saints beat St. Lawrence. Here's another crazy score, Stephanie. 130-66. Quick math, that's a 64-point blowout. Unbelievable. Next up, the Seneca Sting, who went 12-6 in the East region this season. Here's the fun part. Because top-seeded Georgian Grizzlies were knocked out of the East last weekend during the playoffs, St. Clair now has a chance to host the OCAA Final Four. All they have to do is beat the Sting Saturday afternoon at the Sportsplex.
We were not expecting for Georgian to lose at all, and when they did, we were very happy. We still got to take care of business, of course, but that's a huge relief. 'Cause I didn't want to play in that gym. I didn't really like how it looked, to be honest. But our gym, I feel like we have a lot more confidence. Even though we would have been on the road, same thing, we would have had our confidence, but it definitely helps having a home crowd with some local guys as well.
Also tonight, a few boxers got a treat last weekend at the Border City Boxing Club. Bob.
One and only, that's right. No, actually, it was really cool to meet this guy, too. Chad Weigel, he's a U.S. Olympic boxing coach who hails all the way from Kingsville, Ontario. That's right, folks. He was visiting family, made an appearance.
I always love driving back into Windsor because it's so blue collar, and it's got a little bit of gritty to it, and it's like, that's what boxing is.
Weigel hasn't been home since before the pandemic, so he's making the most of this trip. He visited his old stomping grounds at the Border City Boxing Club, where he and Josh Canty would spend hours training kids and then bringing them to tournaments on the weekend. Weigel was an assistant coach for the U.S. at the Paris Olympic Games and led their youth and junior programs as head development coach. The 53-year-old says his formative years at Border City Boxing laid the foundation for his success. And he was happy to come back and share some of that with the young boxers.
Amateur boxing is such a bouncy in and out sport that when we know a little bit of infighting and pressure in the American style, like we dominate internationally because they're not used to that. And that all started here. Yeah, no, I use some of the same drills that I used back then. I use them today.
We are fresh off the Olympics. Bob, some of hockey's biggest trophies will be in LaSalle this weekend.
Yeah,
very exciting for fans.
Oh, it's very cool. Last time a lot of these trophies were in town was 2017 during the Memorial Cup. So yeah, it's really cool that the LaSalle Vipers are hosting an event that wraps around an important game on top of that. Vipers are bringing a Hockey Hall of Fame trophy exhibit to the Vollmer Complex Sunday. Now fans will get a chance to see the Conn Smythe, Art Ross, Vesna, and Four Nations Cup, among others. The exhibit opens 1 p.m., runs till 7. In between, the Vipers are hosting a very important game against the Strathroy Rockets. These two teams are 2 of 4 that are fighting for 3 playoff spots in the GOHL's Western Conference. The Vipers are dedicating the day to 8-year-old Cullen Flood, who we've talked about here before, who continues his fight with leukemia. All exhibit proceeds will be passed along to the family.
Real hockey fan, and just trying to help the family out as best as we can. You know, tough times for them, and currently right now he's in remission, but still going through chemo and other treatments, and traveling quite a bit, and still trying to be amongst his friends and his hockey team.
Okay, and breaking news.
Breaking.
Do we hear music? No music.
Where's the banner? Where's the breaking news banner?
All right. So Kaylin Batten of the St. Clair women's basketball team is first-team West Division All-Star. Rookie Maya Tate, along with Beatrice Clausen, have been named West Division All-Rookie team. So that's fresh this afternoon. St. Clair faces the undefeated Loyalists, they go to Loyalists to face them on Sunday for a chance to play into the Final Four.
Hard work pays off?
Yes.
So I'm really excited for those trophies to come.
You know what? I can't wait to see the Conn Smythe. one of my favorite Conn Smythe moment was watching Henrik Zetterberg lift it up in 2008 when they won the Cup in Pittsburgh. That's one of my favorites.
Bob Belichico with On the Sidelines tonight. We'll be back after the break.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. This Women's Day, in honor of the ones we love, and Motor City Community Credit Union are celebrating the individuality, achievements, and contributions of all women. See you next time on Our Community.
Let's check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kentner. And Melanie, LaSalle Council has rejected a request to reduce ice fees.
That's right. The convener of the upcoming OFSA tournament at the Vollmer Complex approached Council with the request last night. While OFSA requires they book 2-hour slots, the convener says games typically take 90 minutes, and they want to be billed for 7 less hours when the ice won't be in use. The change would cost about $1,200. In return, the tournament would offer LaSalle free sponsorship opportunities. However, Council turned down the request, saying it would set a bad precedent.
Everything that gets really rented at our municipality is for charity or for a school group, and we just can't discount every single program that comes here. And so we had to create a policy that we didn't waive fees, and so that's something we just upheld this evening, is one of our policies that we implement multiple times throughout the year.
We've got more details online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we also have an online story, Melanie, about why Essex County OPP officers are really reminding everyone to slow down.
Yes, a driver was stopped going over double the speed limit in Leamington. Police say the driver was going 162 kilometers per hour in an 80 zone on Highway 77. A 14-day impoundment, a 7-day suspension, and stunt driving charge followed. And in our social spotlight, here's one way to get your kids to do household chores. So yeah, these kids were told that if they stayed home from school and they cleaned the house, and just look at them go. Little did they know that the classes were already canceled due to bad weather. So this is smart when they're this young, Stefanie.
Yeah, very intelligent parents there. I like this. Hey, it's more than just getting them to clean around the house. It's really teaching them those foundational skills for the future, Mel.
Yeah, when they're older, it doesn't quite work the same, though.
It will not. It will not. Okay, Melanie, if some viewers at home want to submit a video for our trending segment, how exactly can they do it?
Yep, you can email it to newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
And that's what's happening now. Thank you, Melanie. From TV fantasy to dream getaway, when we return, the iconic cottage from Crave's hit drama is opening its doors to fans. Windy out there, Gary?
Yes, and more of the same for this evening. It's likely to be a chilly one, but relatively quiet. I don't anticipate any snow for us. Meanwhile, if you look towards satellite radar, we're still looking at lake effect snow along the Huron eastern shores. Tomorrow, we'll wake up to -15 near 6 a.m. Increase in cloudiness. It'll be sunny for the morning drive to work or school. And then we're looking at some increase in cloudiness. And look at the temperatures. 2 degrees tomorrow, that's seasonal. 10 degrees on the plus side for Friday. Very mild. And then cooling off a bit, but still above seasonal. Our average high for this time of the year is about +2. 6 degrees on Saturday. Sunday, we're going to see a nosedive. Temperatures into the minus single digits. So we're going to be cool again. It's not over, but 22 days left until the first day of spring.
Yep, the countdown continues. Okay, thank you, Gary. Michelle, we are continuing more information tonight on our breaking top news story today.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We are trying to get more reaction tonight to the unexpected early closure of the Crown Royal factory in Amherstburg. We will have Unifor reaction, and we're trying to get an explanation from Diageo, along with reaction from the province and, of course, the town. Plus, in other labor news tonight, we'll have details about how Brampton Council is protecting the Stellantis factory for the long term, even though that plant is currently idled. So, Stefanie, always lots going on.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Finally, tonight, we told you this was coming, and now it's here. Fans of heated rivalry are being invited to come to the cottage.
I can carry my own bag. Higher ribs. Fine, I can take my bag.
The lakefront home, which serves as a setting for the season finale of Crave's hit drama, is about to be listed on Airbnb. The 3-bedroom Muskoka waterfront home is where the main characters spend the summer, which becomes a turning point in the relationship. Starting March 3rd, guests can book a weekend at the cottage for around $250 a night until May. Summer bookings begin in June. Correct me if I'm wrong. $250 per night split between, say, 3 couples.
It's not a lot.
That's a great price.
That's not bad.
From
It's a
Muskoka.
beautiful.
Yeah.
But I do think
Nice.
that key there is until June.
Until June,
And then in
yes,
June,
and then it might spike
who
up.
knows?
I've already put a bid in to purchase the property.
Yes, he really wants one. Okay, on behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
That property is coming to me. For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Gary and I will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
Good night.
From Muskoka.